Good morning, Facebook, and welcome to Brookfield Zoo's Bringing the Zoo to You. My name is Jill, and I'm a keeper here at Brookfield Zoo's Wild Encounters. And right here we have a really special treat for you guys. We're in with Leo, the red panda, and we're actually inside his exhibit right now. Now, if you can see, we have keeper Olivia on the other side of the tree over there, and she's doing some target training with Leo. So this is his very first Facebook Live while we're inside his exhibit, so he's a little unsure of what's going on, but we're giving him some treats and giving him a chance to participate in some training today. So we'll see if we can get him a little bit closer, but for right now, I'll hang out in the back over here. So Leo is our only male red panda that we have here at Brookfield Zoo, so we only have him in this exhibit, and he is about 4 years old. He's been with us for most of his life, and he came to us from another institution. So since he's been here, we've worked really closely with him to build really strong relationships with him and be able to do things like this, like target training and different husbandry training, which means that we do things like ask him to go onto a scale, or he's trained to go into his nest box voluntarily, and do other things like that that help us to be able to take really good care of him. So red pandas are from the Himalayan mountain region, so where it's nice and cold and snowy. So he really likes the cold weather like we're having today. It's kind of chilly and we're supposed to get some snow later, so he'll probably be happy to hang out in the snow and play around. As you know, it does get kind of warm here in the summers here in Chicago, so we make sure that he's got plenty of options to stay cool. So his exhibit here, actually this log up in the front has an air conditioning unit that runs through it, and he does have an off-exhibit holding area in this building, which has air conditioning, it has heating, and it keeps him nice and comfortable. So if you ever come to the zoo on a really hot summer day and you might wonder why he's not on exhibit, it's probably because it's a little warm, so he's inside enjoying the air conditioning, taking a nap, or just eating some of his regular diet there. So speaking of his regular diet, one of the most common questions we get about Leo is what kind of food does he eat? So their main diet is bamboo, but we supplement that with other things as well, like fruits and veggies. So he's kind of picky, and his favorites are carrot, corn, and sweet potato. But we offer other things for variety sometimes as well. So his training treats are craisins and grapes, so he really likes the sweet foods as a special treat. And again, sometimes we try to offer him other things, but he's kind of picky, and the craisins and grapes are his favorite. Oh, it looks like it's starting to snow right now. It looks like he's looking around at the snow starting. So Leo is, so red pandas are part of their own family. Some people say they might look like they're related to raccoons because of those stripes on his tail, or ask if they are related to the giant pandas because of the name. But really, red pandas are in their own family, kind of by themselves. If you had to pick an animal that they were closely related to, it would be a raccoon, but even that is a pretty distant relation. Now, the similarity in name between the red pandas and the giant pandas is only because they eat bamboo. So the word panda just means bamboo eater, and that's what makes up most of their diet. What's really cool about red pandas is that they have a modified wrist bone that allows them to hold on to bamboo and the plants that they're eating. So it's really cool because we've used that to train Leo on how to paint. So he'll actually hold a paintbrush, and he can hold it pretty well with his modified wrist bone, and he'll paint on an easel. And his paintings are usually pretty abstract, but we cut him some slack because he's still just learning now. There's just a plane that went overhead. Looks like he's kind of wondering what's going on with that. So Olivia's coming back around and going to do some more target training with him. The target is a really useful tool. It allows us to ask the animal to move from point A to point B. So for example, we can ask him to target onto a scale, or we can ask him to stand up so we can look at his belly, so he can do some really cool stuff. It's a really universal tool that lots of different kinds of animals can be trained to know how to do. So like I mentioned earlier, he's adapted to to live in some really cold climates. So he's covered in lots of really thick, soft fur. If I get a little bit closer, you should be able to see. Hey, buddy. So yeah, he's got fur all over his body, including on the bottom of his feet. And he's got some pretty sharp claws too, so that allows him to be able to climb branches and stay holding on to things while he's in the snow and on the ice. So red pandas are classified as carnivores based on their teeth and how their teeth are shaped, but his diet is mostly an herbivore, so mostly just the plants and the fruits. Well guys, I think we're gonna probably cut this a little bit short today. Unless we can see if we can get Leo to move around a little bit more. But while we're trying to get him to move around, I'm gonna move over here. You can see him over there. So this is one of Leo's favorite spots in his tree. He mostly sleeps up in this corner. And we make sure to put lots of bamboo areas around for him so that he can have different places to get food. Hey Olivia, do you know what's a red panda's favorite place to eat?
Ooh, what is it?
It's at the Red Panda Express.
Leo, is that a good one?
I don't think he liked it very much.
Good.
So Olivia's been working with Leo for quite a long time, so you can see he really trusts her and he's really comfortable around her. Most of the time he's pretty timid. He does have sharp teeth and claws, so, you know, we always use caution when we're working with him. But mostly if he felt threatened, he would just probably run, like, try to hide from us. But he's really, really comfortable with us and really, really trusting because we work with him every single day and do behaviors like this all the time.
Target. Good.
So you can see all that nice thick fur around him. He'll curl up when it's nice and cold out and he'll tuck his nose under his tail to keep him warm. Now, as I mentioned, Leo is our only red panda that we have, and they do live solitary lives, so it would be normal for him to be alone in the wild. The only exception to that is if they were mating or raising young. So their mating season is in January and February, and the cubs are typically born in the summertime, so like June or July. And the females can raise between 1 and 5 cubs. Usually the average is 2. And then they stay with the mom until they're about 5 or 6 months old. Until they're old enough to navigate all the branches and to find food on their own. So Olivia just demonstrated the up behavior that we ask Leo to do, which is useful for us because we can get a good look at his belly and at his feet and just make sure that he looks healthy. There have been times before where he wasn't feeling well, and so instead of having him go over to the vet hospital that we have here at the zoo, we would have the veterinarians come to Leo and get a good close look at him up close instead of him being stressed out having to go to the hospital. So those kinds of behaviors, again, are very, very valuable. All right. Well, guys, we want to thank you very much for joining us for this Facebook Live. Once again, my name is Jill. This is Olivia. And we're doing this training session with Leo, our red panda. Hopefully you can come and see him sometime. He's not usually out for holiday magic, but he's out on any other normal day as long as the weather is nice. But the zoo will be open for holiday magic for the whole rest of the week from 3 to 9 p.m. And just remember, if you're buying tickets to Holiday Magic, you do have to make a reservation online in advance. But thanks so much for all your support, and thank you for watching, and Happy New Year!